Today we will consider few terms related to motion in a straight line. When an object is said to be in state of motion, an object is said to be in state of motion if it changes its position with respect to time or it changes its position with respect to surroundings. For example, air, flying birds, movement of earth, air flowing in and out of our lungs, flow of blood in arteries and veins, all are examples of motion. And if an object is not changing its position with respect to time and with respect to surrounding, then we will say the object is at the state of rest. And during its motion, if the object is moving along a straight line, then this motion is said to be rectilinear motion. Now there are different branches of physics in which we are going to consider different topics related to light, related to motion, related to electricity, magnetism. So that branch of physics in which we study about motion of an object and equilibrium of object under many forces, then that branch will be known as mechanics. Equilibrium of object under many forces means net force acting on the object will come out to be zero. And if net force is not zero, then it can change the state of object. It can bring the object from rest to motion or motion to rest like this. So in mechanics, we will study about motion of object or equilibrium of object under many forces. This mechanics is divided into three parts: statics, kinematics and dynamics. Statics means we will consider object in equilibrium under action of external forces, or in this we are going to consider object to be at the state of rest. Kinematics means object is moving, but we will not focus on the cause of motion. Means force is causing the motion, so we will not relate ourselves to force. We will only focus on the study of motion without considering the force. Dynamic means in dynamics we will consider the motion of object as well as we will consider the force that is causing the motion. So in this particular part we will focus on kinematics. And when we are going to consider this topic, motion in a straight line in kinematics, then one more term we should know, that is point object. When the object is said to be point object, if the size of object is very small as compared to the distance covered by object, then object will be considered to be point object. For example, if a bus is moving from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, then size of bus will be very small as compared to the distance that it will cover. So we can consider bus to be a point object. Earth can be considered as a point object when it is revolving around sun. So if size of object you can neglect as compared to the distance it is going to cover, then that object can be considered to be point object. Size of object is very small as compared to distance covered in a given duration of time, so that object will be considered to be point object. When an object is in motion, then it changes its position with time. And if we want to find what is the new position of the object after a certain time interval, then we need a reference point and we need a set of axes. And this set of axes we will consider to be Cartesian coordinate system, where we are going to consider x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, which are mutually perpendicular to each other, and at one point they are going to intersect, and that point is known as origin, O. So when we will consider a set of three axes, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, perpendicular to each other and going to intersect at one point, and this point is known as origin or reference point, then this system will be known as Cartesian coordinate system. And frame of reference we will relate with Cartesian coordinate coordinate system. In this case, what we are going to consider, if an object is moving from one point to another point, let us consider this is the position of the object after some time. Then it will be at a certain distance from x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So its coordinates x, y, z will give its distance from x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. You can find this part, you can find this part, and you can find the distance from z-axis also. So if an observer is at origin with a meter rod to measure position and a clock to measure time of position of body, then this total will form a frame of reference. Frame of reference means we are going to consider a clock to measure time, and we are going to have a set of axes where new position of the particle we can describe in terms of distance from x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and x, y and z will be known as coordinates. So we will consider motion of an object in terms of these coordinates, and we will consider time factor also. Also, we have done that rest and motion are not going to be absolute terms. They are relative terms. For example, you are sitting in a bus, you and your friend, and bus is in the state of motion. It is in the state of motion for a person who is outside the bus and standing on the road. And if you will consider situation for you and your friend, you are at rest with respect to each other. But for a person who is outside the bus and standing on the road, you both are in the state of motion. It means one person at the same time can be at the state of rest, can be in the state of motion. It depends on frame of reference. For a person who is outside the bus, standing on the road, you are in the state of motion. And for your friend who is just sitting with you, you are in the state of rest. So rest and motion are relative terms. They depend on frame of reference. These terms we cannot consider to be absolute terms. Now we will consider when the motion is said to be one-dimensional motion, two-dimensional motion and three-dimensional motion. Just now we have considered three coordinates x, y and z. If out of these three coordinates only one coordinate is going to change with respect to time, then we will say motion is going to be one-dimensional motion. For example, if I will consider this is x-axis and this is y-axis and this pen is moving like this, then one coordinate is going to change because this distance will remain same. What is going to change? This part is going to change. So if one coordinate is changing only, motion is along a straight line, then we will say this motion is one-dimensional motion. For example, motion of bus on a straight road, oscillation of a mass suspended from a spring. This situation is like this. Here you have one spring and this is mass suspended. You will pull it slightly in downward direction and you will leave. Then what will happen? It will start moving up and down. So oscillation of a mass suspended from a vertical spring. And if you are going to drop an object from a certain height, then also we will consider motion to be one-dimensional motion. Next is two-dimensional motion. If again you will consider this is x-axis, this is y-axis and you are moving like this, then with the time x coordinate is changing and with the time y coordinate is also changing. Then this type of motion where two coordinates out of three are going to change, this motion will be said to be two-dimensional motion. For example, on floor, insect is crawling or a billiard ball is moving on billiard table. These two examples will be examples of two-dimensional motion. And three-dimensional motion means when all the three coordinates which are specifying the position of the object will change with the time. It means x coordinate will change, y coordinate will change, z coordinate will change. Example, kite is flying in the sky, bird is flying in the sky. random motion of gas molecules, all are examples of three-dimensional motion. So till now we have done few terms related to motion in a straight line. Terms were, we have considered motion, rest, rectilinear motion, mechanics, when the object is said to be point object, frame of reference, and whether motion is one-dimensional motion, two-dimensional motion, or three-dimensional motion. Next term that we will discuss now, and on these terms we will consider few numericals also. We will make a difference between distance and displacement. When an object is moving from one point to another point, for example, this is your first point, this is your second point, this is A, this is B, then you can go from A to B by following several paths. There is no single path to go from A to B. This is first, this is second, this is third. Other paths can also be there. So when we will consider the total path length covered by the particle in going from one position to another position, then total path length will be known as a distance. And when I will consider the shortest distance between initial position and final position in particular direction, then that will be known as displacement. Path length, distance means total path covered by the object. Displacement means shortest path between initial position and final position in a particular direction. Let us consider this is our reference point or origin, and an object is moving on this road. It can move in this direction also, it can move in this direction also. So we have considered these cases. When the object is moving from O to A, O to A to B, O to C, O to C back to O, O to C, and then to D. We will consider what is the path length and what is the displacement in these cases. From this discussion, we can make out what are the points of difference between distance and displacement. Let us consider from O to A. Object is moving in this direction. Now in this case, this is the path length covered from O to A. Path length is 120 and this is the shortest distance between O to A. So displacement will also be 120. O to B. O to A then to B. So this is coming out to be 200 meter. Path length is 200 and displacement will also be 200. O to C. Path length 400. Displacement also 400. This is in positive direction of x-axis. When we are going to consider motion from O to C then back to O. So while going, path covered was 400. While coming back, path covered is 400. So total path length will become 400 plus 400, it will become 800. Then what will be displacement? Displacement is sign sensitive. So when you will consider in this direction, displacement will be 400 meter. When you will consider in this direction, you have changed the direction of motion. So for this side, displacement will be positive. For this side, displacement will be negative. So net displacement in going from O to C and then back to O. This will come out to be 400 minus 400. This will be 0. It means when your initial point and final point is going to be same, the value of displacement will be 0, but distance will not be 0. So 1 mark question, in which case displacement can be 0, but distance will be non-zero. So when initial and final points for an object will be same after movement, then this case will be there. Next case, object is moving from O to C and then going to D, coming back and going to D. In this case, see, path length will be 400 this side, 400 this side and 160 this side. So you will get 400 plus 400 and then what else will be there? And it will be 160. So total will come out to be 960 meter distance traveled or 960 meter path traveled. What will be displacement? Going from O to C back to O, displacement was 0. And in this direction when you will move, this is going to cover minus 160. So you will consider 400 minus 400 minus 160. This will give you result of minus 160 meter. If you will understand these cases, then points of difference very clearly will come out. That if object is moving along a straight line path without changing direction, distance and displacement will be same. Distance can be greater than displacement. Distance will always be positive. Displacement can be 0, displacement can be positive, displacement can be negative. In all these cases, either distance is equal to displacement or distance is greater than displacement. In no case, distance is going to be less than displacement. Or you can say displacement can be equal to distance, but displacement can never be greater than distance. So, and one more point we will consider here, distance is going to be independent of direction. So it is a scalar quantity and displacement depends on direction. So it is going to be a vector quantity. So if you will collect all these points, then points are: what is distance? Actual path length covered by the object between initial and final position is distance. Shortest distance between initial and final position will be displacement. It is independent of direction, so scalar quantity. Depends on direction, vector quantity. Distance always positive. Displacement can be positive, it can be negative. It is never 0. Distance never 0. Displacement can be 0. Distance can either be equal to displacement, greater than displacement, but never less than displacement. Displacement can be equal to distance, can be less than distance, but can never be greater than distance. It depends on the path followed. This path is unique. And this is a similarity that both are going to have same unit, that is meter. So if you have understood this very well, then I think you can try these numericals. So these numericals I will give you for practice.